channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little tutorial for you. I've been really excited to film this. I've been working on it for a little while. And if you've read the title, you know what it's about. We're going to be making a flower wall for under $30. I watched a video a while back. Some of you might follow Amber Scholl on YouTube, and she made a flower wall, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I really want one. So I looked up stuff online to make it, and then suddenly I realized that artificial flowers are really expensive, and if I was going to make a wall like hers, it was going to cost me several $100s, and I kind of went, oh, I don't want to spend $100 on this. I don't want to spend any real money. I just wanted it. So I started thinking, and I came up with a way that I could make it for just a lot less money. So it took some trial and error, but I'm hoping that this might be helpful if you want to do it. I do want to warn you, this is a really time-consuming project. I've actually been working on this for several months, and I'm still not finished with it, but I'm close to finishing, so this is when we're going to start filming it. What you're going to need is your basic supplies. You're going to need a ruler and scissors. You want to put some sort of newspaper or something down on your table because you will get glue somewhere. You're going to need Elmer's glue. I used probably 2 large bottles of it for this project, so those are just a few dollars. And you're also going to need resume. This is the weird thing. This is about $20. You're going to need some resume paper. I have a box. Mine's Southwest paper, and I bought a box of 500 sheets, but you'll probably need about 200 sheets to do you need about a sheet for each flower you're going to make, so it depends on the size of the wall. If you're going to do a bigger wall, you're going to need more, so try to kind of figure out how many flowers you're going to need total for your wall. The last thing you're going to need is some sort of backing. I'll show you here. This is just thick photo board that they sell at like office supply stores, craft stores. I'm actually using styrofoam for mine because I had some large styrofoam sheets that were a little bit bigger. But you can use the paper board. You could use whatever you have as a backing, basically. And those are usually just a few dollars. You can get those at office supply stores or craft stores. And those are just what you're going to be attaching your flowers to. You could also use if you have a big sheet of wood or just plywood, whatever, but the paper is lighter. So if you use those, you can actually use multiple ones and hook them together because they're lightweight. So that is one option. So let's get started on the actual tutorial. We're going to be starting by making these little paper flowers. And this is what's really time consuming about this, is that you have to make a million, just tons and tons and tons of these little things. If you're going to do this, I really recommend inviting some friends over and making it like a project, like, hey, come help me make, a zillion little tiny itty bitty flowers, because it'll be fun, right? So, and I think for mine I need like 200, so. And I learned how to do this from a tutorial online. I am going to link it below so you can actually see how to do it. I'll show you, but I don't really want to steal their strategy. And the ones I make look like little tiny roses. But you don't have to make a rose. There are tutorials on YouTube that you can find that make all sorts of different paper flowers. Just type up paper flower tutorial and you will find styles. You'll find different kinds. There's also, you can use different colors. If you want, you can use any color the resume paper comes in, but if you don't want like a white or a tan or something, you can actually spray paint them the color that you want. That makes it a little more expensive of a project. So I don't want to go too into detail about how to make these, but you can kind of, if you want to watch, how I make it. I have little, mine's about 4 inches by 4 inches in a square. That's how big my thing, and I already pre-cut a square that I just use as sort of a template. I just cut my resume paper. Sometimes. I love crafts. And you're going to need to cut like a whole lot of these little papers, so just be prepared that this will take you a long time. Be prepared. The cost of, being cheap. You got to sacrifice your time to do things. And I actually would recommend too, I made mine 4 inches by 4 inches. I'd actually recommend making them a little bit larger. You will use more resume paper, but you'll go faster if your flowers are bigger, so you won't have to have as many. That'll speed things up a little bit for the process too. Just a little pointer. I wish I had made my flowers larger. So, just gonna fold. And you can use these paper flowers for other things too. It doesn't have to be a wall. You could do other decorative flower anythings. So, and I think each flower probably takes about, once you get the hang of it, it takes about a minute to make a flower. So, you know, if you're thinking 200 flowers, that's 200 minutes of flower creation that you're going to have to account for. But that's really the hard part, is just making all the flowers. Assembling the wall is really an easy project compared to the flower production. Where you need 4 of these little cutouts. Cutting 1. Then I cut 2, 3, and 1 that you just cut 4 across. And like I said, I'll link the real tutorial on how to make these below somewhere so you can find it. And then this is the part that gets kind of messy. You're going to get glue somewhere on your hands, on the table, so just be expecting glue in your life. Glue time. You're kind of just rolling these together and gluing them. I start with the smallest and I work up to the biggest piece. These don't need to be very neat. You're going to be kind of sloppy with them because they're going to be pushed in together and kind of hidden. So you don't have to be perfect with them. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but this you do not need to be a perfectionist about. You really just need to get the pieces together. Really nice thing about this is that because you're making that out of paper, it's going to be really lightweight, so you can move the wall around really easily. It's not like a heavy wall that's going to be, you know, burdensome to move. You can kind of readjust it where you need it. As far as maintenance goes, you just need to dust it from time to time. It should be fine, as long as you don't put it outside. This has to stay inside because it's paper. Obviously, if it gets wet, it's going to wash away. I've got all the little pieces that I made. I've sort of glued them all together. And I start with the biggest, sometimes I'll start with the smallest. And then you're just going to glue them inside of each other, basically. You go by size. And this is how you get glue all over yourself. Let me tell you, after about flower number 20, you're going to feel like this is a never-ending process. You're going to feel like you are never going to be done. Just a heads up. But it'll be worth the wait when you're finished, because it'll be beautiful. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I kind of shape them as I go too, try to make them a little more symmetrical, because they can get a little crooked. The little one's always the most difficult to put in there. Sometimes I have to clip the top of it off. That one actually went in. Okay, look, it's cute. I love it. Okay, so I made this one. Now I'm going to actually pause the camera and make a whole bunch more so then I can show you the wall itself that I'm actually working on. So, hang tight. This is the flower wall that I'm working on. You see I'm not quite done, but it's pretty large. It's actually, it's not heavy, it's light because it's just on styrofoam. But I'm going to continue just gluing my flowers on here. So now I'm just taking my Elmer's glue and I'm just gluing the base of each flower. And I'm using quite a bit of glue. And I'm just putting them in little rows. I'm not being real specific with placement. I'm just putting them wherever I think they look nice. At first I was trying to make them in really neat little rows, but I think it looks a little better if they're kind of scattered around. As I'm doing it on styrofoam, I'm kind of pushing them down a little bit. But if you're doing this on some sort of cardboard or paperboard backing, then you wouldn't want to have to push them down at all. So, and this does take a little bit of time. I'll say one nice thing about these little paper flowers is that they're pretty resilient. If I get bored of this wall, I could take it down. And I think the flowers, I could reuse them for other craft projects. So that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna... And I probably still have to make a few more to finish it. And I want to get some little greenery at like a craft store to put around the outer edges. But you wouldn't need to do that if you did it on like a cardboard backing. Also, you want to wait till the glue is dried before you glue down your paper flowers also. So assemble them and then glue at a later time onto the actual board. It's a little more difficult to glue down a soft flower. I'm also kind of gluing them in little batches. I'm not trying to do them all at once just because it's easier for placement. looking at things I would do differently, as I think, obviously I would have had my friends help me. I would have invited my friends over, and we could have had it like a party or something and made them together, so it would have been less time consuming. I also wish maybe I would have used a smaller board, like I could have made this wall smaller, and I would have been just as happy with it. And I wish the flowers I had made them larger, just to kind of speed everything up. Mine were 4 by 4 inches, so I think maybe like a 6 by 6 inch would probably still look like a real flower, but would save you a little bit of time in construction. So those are just my little pointers and tips if you're, thinking about doing your own wall. So when I get this fully assembled, I'll film it, I'll hopefully hang it and film it so you can see the final results of my labor. Probably going to be another day or so before I completely finish everything on it. Hey guys, so it's the next day and the wall is finished. As you can see, it's behind me. I'll do a little photo of it. I'm going to hang it on my back porch. I'm really excited, happy with how it turned out. I can't wait to use it and enjoy it for hopefully a few years to come. And so I hope this tutorial was helpful for you.